In that time, just a few weeks ago, the Biden administration, American military personnel launched missiles into mainland Russia and killed at least a dozen Russian soldiers. So we are, unbeknownst to most Americans, in a hot war with Russia, an undeclared war, a war you did not vote for and that most Americans don't want, but that is ongoing. And because of that war, because of the fact that the U.S. military is killing Russians in Russia right now, we are closer to nuclear war than at any time in history. Far closer than we were during the Cuban Missile Crisis. That would mean the elimination of Russia, the United States, and most of the rest of the world. Meanwhile, most Americans have no access to any perspective other than that granted to them by NBC News and the New York Times. They don't know how close we are. They don't know the Russian perspective. We've been trying for over a year to get that perspective out to American news consumers. We've also tried for over a year to get an interview with Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. We've attacked that from a bunch of different angles. We've spoken to a lot of different people around him, had dinner with them. We've been in talks continuously, and those efforts have been thwarted by the U.S. government. The American embassy in Kiev, which our tax dollars pay for, told the Zelensky government, no, you may not do the interview. You can talk to CNN, you can't talk to us. So we've been unable to speak to him. So we came back to Moscow yesterday to interview the foreign minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov.
This is my video update on this Wednesday afternoon, December the 4th, coming to you from Athens, Greece. Let's talk about some news. And the big story from yesterday and today is the martial law in South Korea. President Yoon, whose popularity is at something like 15%, very unpopular president of South Korea, he decided to enact martial law. Didn't see that one coming. I did not see that one coming. This surprised everybody, but he calls martial law. He gets the military to start blocking off the parliament so as to prevent the parliament members who are in the party that opposes President Yoon. The president does not have a majority in parliament. The opposition has a majority in parliament, and the military was sent to block off the parliament. It didn't work. The parliament members, they climbed over the fences in the parliament, and they voted down the martial law of the president. And then as the evening went on and the president tried to arrest members of the opposition party, eventually the military, seeing that the parliament voted against the president's martial law, they did not arrest members of the opposition, and the President Yoon had to issue a statement saying that the martial law is going to end. And that's where we are at the moment. Actually, no, that's not where we are at the moment. The news is that the opposition party, along with six parties in total, they are calling on the president to either resign or he will be impeached. 190 lawmakers who were able to access the National Assembly building voted unanimously to lift the decree. The military responded that martial law would remain in place until the president says otherwise. Shortly after 4 a.m. local time, Yoon announced he would end the state of emergency. And 1 second, 6 South Korean opposition parties said they would submit Yoon's impeachment bill on Wednesday. The Democratic Party said in a message to reporters that voting to take place on Friday or Saturday. The leader of Yoon's ruling People Power Party called for Defense Minister Kim Young-hyun to be fired and the entire cabinet to resign. Yeah, the president is toast. The president is toast. He needs to, from what I understand, he either needs to resign or they're going to impeach him. So why did he do this? He said that he enacted martial law because of North Korea. He said that the opposition party was was influenced by forces from North Korea or something like that. North Korean influence had seeped into the opposition party, and he said they were doing stuff that was going against the activities of the government, of the state, of the national interest of South Korea. And he was also very, very unpopular. He was afraid that he would be removed because his popularity was so low, and there was talk that there would be some initiatives, some motions to remove him as president. So I guess he decided to beat them to the punch and call martial law and to try and arrest the opposition or something like that. What a mess, man. What a freaking mess in South Korea. Keep in mind that the South Korean military is pretty much under the control of the U.S. government. And I also believe South Korea has a whole lot of ammunition, which they've given a considerable amount to the Elensky regime, and I think they have Taurus missiles as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Taurus missiles and a lot of weapons, because of the state of uncertainty in South Korea, I would not be surprised if some weapons happen to make their way to the Elensky regime. I don't know, just saying. But yeah, North Korea's looking on and laughing at all of this, no doubt about it. Maria Zakharova, she posted on Telegram, "What have Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia decided on this? Will sanctions be imposed on Seoul, or will South Korea be luckier than Georgia?" She's got a point. The Baltic states, they placed sanctions on Georgia because of democracy and values. So are they going to place the same sanctions on South Korea because of democracy and values? Or is that how collective West democracies, that's how they roll? Collective West democracies, they're all about martial law when things aren't going their way, when their popularity plummets. It's all about martial law. Is Macron gonna call martial law because his government is on the brink of collapse? Maybe little Napoleon will call martial law. Maybe Pirate Schultz will call martial law because he's not doing too well either. Those collective West democracies. This is the same president who went to visit Bidenopolis, and at a state dinner with Bidenopolis looking on, he sang American Pie. This is the guy that we're talking about, President Yoon. Very unpopular. Very unpopular, this guy. So we'll see what's going to happen. Let's wait and see. Will he resign? Will he be impeached? Will the U.S. intervene and prop up their puppet Yoon? We have to wait and see. What a freaking mess, man. What a mess in South Korea. Man, everything's falling apart in Biden's last month and a half. He's got a month and a half left, huh? Everything is crumbling. Chaos, man. Is this Biden's plan before he leaves? Just global chaos? Jeez, man. Anyway, let's move on. And let's talk about Tucker Carlson in Moscow. This was a surprise. Tucker Carlson put out a video. He was in Red Square, and he decided to put out a video and announced that he is going to be interviewing Foreign Minister Lavrov. And he is in Moscow to interview Foreign Minister Lavrov because, as Tucker rightly said, we are on the brink of nuclear war. The United States is at war with Russia. Tucker Carlson said as much. The United States is firing missiles into Russia. That is what Tucker Carlson said in this 2-3 minute video. The interview with Lavrov. I believe he said that he completed the interview with Lavrov. Then he publishes the video, and the Lavrov interview is going to be published very soon, he said. So we look forward to seeing that interview with the best foreign minister on the planet, one of the top foreign ministers on the planet, no doubt about it. He's right next to Blinken. Blinken is the top foreign minister. No, he's in third place. Blinken's the top foreign minister. Kaja Kallas is the second best foreign minister. Then comes Lavrov. Then comes Lavrov and Siarto and Wang Yi and Jaishankar and all of these guys. But number one is Blinkety Blinken, and number two is Kaja Kallas. Yeah, I know she's new to the job. She's only been foreign minister for a couple of days, but she's doing awesome. She is doing awesome, Kaja Kallas. Oh, man. So Tucker, the big news from this 2-3 minute video that he posted announcing the interview with Lavrov is actually not the interview with Lavrov. Not even the fact that Tucker Carlson said that the United States is at war with Russia, that the U.S. is lobbing missiles into Russian territory. That wasn't the big news from this 2-3 minute video that he posted. The big news is that Tucker Carlson, this is amazing. This is amazing. Are you guys ready? Tucker Carlson said that he has been trying to get an interview with the Green Goblin Elensky, and the United States, the U.S. Embassy in Kiev, is not letting Elensky talk to Tucker Carlson. The U.S. Embassy in Kiev is letting Elensky talk to CNN, but it is blocking Elensky from doing an interview with Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson said they've been trying everything. They've been doing everything to try and get an interview with the man in the green shirt. But the U.S. Embassy is saying, nope, Elensky is not allowed to talk to Tucker. Wow. Wow. He basically revealed that Elensky is indeed a puppet to the U.S. Embassy in Kiev. The former Fox News host revealed that, quote, "We have also tried for over a year to get an interview with Elensky, the president of Ukraine. According to Carlson, his team have attacked that from a bunch of different angles. We have spoken to a lot of different people around him, had dinner with them. We have been in talks continuously, and those efforts have been thwarted by the U.S. government. The American embassy in Kiev, which our tax dollars pay for, told the Elensky government, no, you may not do the interview. You can talk to CNN. You cannot talk to us," Carlson said. I've got nothing to add. I've got absolutely nothing to add to that. So let's talk about, jeez, bro. You thought that the globalists, the political elite and the kleptocrats, you thought they hated Tucker Carlson before. Boy, are they going to hate Tucker Carlson after this one. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Project Ukraine and Annalena 360. According to Bloomberg, Annalena 360 says that NATO membership for Ukraine could be part of a potential deal and ceasefire with Russia. If they get a ceasefire with Russia, the collective West, then according to Annalena, Ukraine could be heading into NATO. Annalena also said that if there's a ceasefire, German military would be more than ready, willing and ready and able to enforce a demilitarized zone in Ukraine. We've already talked about this. I've talked about this, right? A Ukraine demilitarized zone. This is what the EU is planning. 100,000 peacekeepers. Boris talked about this as well. Kaja Kallas talked about this the other day when she was visiting Kiev. And we're talking about a demilitarized zone split up into 4 sectors, 4 sections, 4 parts. One part in Lvov would be policed by Poland. I believe the area around Kiev would be under the UK's control. Romania would get Odessa and the south, and Germany would get, I believe, the north. German troops, German freaking troops in Ukraine, right on Russia's border. Yeah, Russia's going to agree to that. Sure, Germany. Yeah, absolutely. Just put 20, 30,000 soldiers, if you even have those numbers of soldiers. Yeah, put them right on the border. No problem. All is good, right? Yeah, all is good. German peacekeepers. Anyway, that's what Bloomberg is reporting, coming from Annalena 360. Le Monde is reporting that the French publication that the countries that are preventing at the moment Ukraine's entry into NATO are Germany. Interesting, Germany is against, at the moment, at this very moment, because there's a NATO meeting that's going to take place, I believe, next week. A NATO meeting is going to take place, and the Ukraine foreign minister, the reports are that the Ukraine foreign ministry, they have sent a letter to NATO with demands, an ultimatum actually, demands and an ultimatum saying that either we get into NATO or we're not going to accept anything connected with a ceasefire or negotiations, nothing. We will not accept any alternatives, surrogates, or substitutions for Ukraine's full membership in NATO. This is what the foreign minister who took over for Kaluba, who no one cares about, no one knows his name, Andrei, what's this guy's name? Andrei Sibiha or something. Who cares? No one cares about this guy, this foreign minister who took over for Kuleba. Anyway, he issued a letter, the foreign ministry, to the collective West, saying that it's either NATO or nothing. NATO or nothing. The letter pointed out that past agreements, such as the 1994 Budapest Memorandum, which was supposed to protect Ukraine after it gave up its nuclear weapons, turned out to be meaningless. Not providing Ukraine with real effective security guarantees in the 1990s was a strategic mistake that Moscow exploited. This mistake must be corrected, said the foreign minister in this letter. Yeah, it's a lie. We've gone over this a million times. Ukraine never had nuclear weapons. And yeah, it never had nuclear weapons. Those nuclear weapons were Moscow's, were Russia's. So the whole Budapest Memorandum thing is just complete fiction. And Russia didn't exploit anything. Ukraine, Kiev was exploited with the Maidan 2014 coup. The West exploited Ukraine. Nuland and her cookies. Nuland and her cookies at Maidan. That exploited Ukraine in 2014. Anyway, let's get back to Le Monde. So Le Monde is saying that Germany, the United States, and Hungary are preventing Ukraine from entering NATO in the next week or two. The unnamed official, always an unnamed official, according to Le Monde, said there were objections from Germany, Hungary, and the US, and that Ukrainian NATO membership is an option that makes many allies very uneasy. Other countries, including France and the UK, have been supportive of Kiev's push to join. So let's do an update on the situation in France. The Macron government, or the Barnier government, might collapse in the next day or two. But Macron is saying nope. Macron is actually very confident that the government's going to be okay, and Macron is not going to resign. Macron said he will not resign. He was in Saudi Arabia, and he told reporters he does not believe the government will fall as lawmakers back home prepare to vote on a no-confidence motion. French media reported. Macron also dismissed growing calls for his resignation from politicians across the political spectrum and said he will serve out his second term in full. And then Macron criticized Marine Le Pen and National Rally for being unbearably cynical in signaling its support for the no-confidence motion put forward by the left-wing New Popular Front coalition. He also accused the socialists, the most centrist faction within the NFP, of having lost their bearings by voting to topple the Barnier government. That's right. According to Little Napoleon, it's Le Pen's fault. It's the socialist NFP, the New Popular Front's fault. It's their fault that all of these problems plague the Macron administration and France. He's not going to resign. Macron will not resign. We're not going to have new elections. And what does he know? What does Macron know? He's very confident that Barnier is going to be okay. I believe it was Macron who said a year ago that there's no way that Trump is going to become president of the United States. That was Macron, wasn't it? I forgot his exact quote. But yeah, Macron said, nah, there's no chance for Trump to be president. We're going to take care of that. That is what Macron said. Well, Macron is now saying he is not going to resign and that the Barnier government will make it through this crisis. I don't know. I don't think so. From everything I read, Barnier is doomed. He is doomed. Maybe Macron is gonna enact martial law. Who knows? In collective West democracies, collective West values, anything goes. What are the rules? There are no rules as long as you do the bidding of the globalist political elite class. There are no rules. We'll see. We'll see in the next day or two what's going to happen. An update in Romania, the Supreme Court, the court that was doing a recount of the election in order to try and stop Georgescu from running in the second round, they said that there was nothing wrong with the vote. And they are allowing Georgescu, because there was nothing wrong with the vote after the recount, he will be running in the second round of the elections, which is taking place, I believe, on December 8th, right? We're going to have the second and final vote for the next president of Romania. And Georgescu, he said, and I quote, "I do not want out of NATO. I do not want out of the European Union. What I want, however, is to take a stance, not to kneel over there, not to take everything. Like I said, we should do everything in our national interest." And what Georgescu is hinting at, if he becomes president, that we could be looking at a situation very much akin to Orban in Hungary, a Romania that's going to look after Romania's national interests first, but is not looking to get out of the European Union and is not looking to get out of NATO. A Romania that's going to be aligned with Orban and Fico. Can you imagine that? That is going to drive the European Union, NATO, Rute Bute, Ursula von der Leyen. That's going to drive them absolutely crazy. I think it's the right move for Romania and Hungary and Slovakia to stay in NATO and to stay in the European Union so you can drive them absolutely mad. Can you imagine that coalition? Romania, Hungary, and Slovakia. That would be awesome. Maybe even Czech Republic. Who knows? Maybe even Czech Republic may join that grouping. Who knows? Let's see. Politico. Is this Politico? Yeah. Politico says, under Romania's French-style political system, the president is the head of state, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and in charge of foreign policy. Having a NATO skeptic in the Cotroceni Palace, therefore, could create big problems for the alliance. Georgescu could copy Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban's playbook, for example, and act as a pro-Kremlin spoiler within NATO. Yeah, man, just be a spoiler. I'm all for that, man. Just be a spoiler. Put your country first and prevent NATO and the European Union from taking the world into war, man. from driving the collective West over the cliff, man. Be the spoiler, the pro-Kremlin spoiler. Because if you're against the globalist agenda, if you're against nuclear war with Russia, then you're pro-Kremlin, right? So that's the update on Romania. December 8th, I think, is the date. That's December 8th is Sunday, right? Yeah, I think it's Sunday. Going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting story to follow. Let's do a clown world, and we will wrap this video up. Yeah, let's do a clown world. Finish up this video. George Clooney furious with Obama for using him as a patsy for Kamala's defeat. Clooney is upset with Obama. Say it ain't so. Is the bromance between Clooney and Obama, is it over? Did Obama use Clooney as a patsy to write that letter, that article, which called on Biden to resign? Didn't it call on Biden to step down? That article from George Clooney? Yeah, he did. He did post an article talking about how it's time for Kamala Harris to take over. Was this under Obama's orders? Wow. And now Clooney's upset with Obama because he was used as a patsy. Let's see, what is Breitbart reporting here? The bromance between Clooney and Obama is reportedly on the rocks, with the Hollywood star said to be furious with Obama for setting him up as the patsy to end Biden's career and then absorb the blowback following Harris's election defeat. George is furious with Obama for disappearing after the election disaster and leaving him holding the bag for pushing the plan with his Hollywood pals, an unnamed entertainment industry source told Radar Online. Another unnamed source said George feels duped and vows he's not going to be anyone's political water boy anymore. He's not going to be anyone's political water boy anymore. George Clooney, the water boy. Didn't Adam Sandler put out a movie called Waterboy or something like that? That's Clooney. Clooney the water boy. Clooney the patsy water boy. Oh, man. Obama is good at that stuff. I have to give Obama credit. If Obama has one talent, it's getting other people to do stuff, and then they take the fall. And Obama just sits in the shadows behind the curtain, and he gets none of the blame. Obama is a master at that. Man, how does Obama talk people into doing this stuff? How does he talk them into doing this stuff? What is Obama saying to them? What is he doing that convinces these people to do stupid stuff like posting articles or writing letters calling for the president of the United States to resign so that Kamala Harris can take over? Clooney, man. Talk about a bonehead, dumb move from Clooney. Hollywood actors, they're not the sharpest knives in the drawer, are they? Those Hollywood actors. Up in the air, Clooney. All right, that's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch, like the bomber jacket that I have on today, or the sweatshirt that I am also wearing. The link to the Duran shop is in the description box down below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. Help this channel reach 237,412 Annalena bareback math subscribers. Take care.